Okay, so we're going to go over color pencil basics. What you're going to need is, let me get you a couple things. You're going to need a pencil, obviously, to fill out. You'll need your basic colors, all right? You're going to need one of these special white colored pencils and a blending pencil, okay? So it's the one with the pink and the one with the green, all right? I would highly suggest that for these, remember, you need to sharpen them with the special Prismacolor sharpeners, okay? Yes, they can get sharpened in here, but the problem is they break very easily. So you want to use them with them only. I would get regular, handheld for these, which are great, okay? Not at the moment, but you will need objects, all right? But we should be good to go. Okay, so let's go over a couple of vocabulary words. I want you to copy this down. When you put this into your sketchbook, what you're going to do is you're going to put a little piece of tape here, a little piece of tape at the bottom, all right? And it's going to go into your sketchbook, all right? And you place it in any spot in the media unit. All right, so primary colors. Let's go over this real quick. So primary colors, we know are red, blue, yellow, okay? These are so we got red, blue, yellow. These are the basic colors. You can't mix them, okay? If someone says, I know how to make yellow, just look at them and be like, no, all right? Secondary colors, we have violet, orange, green. These can get mixed. So orange, violet, or another one is purple, okay? And then green. So you can mix them, which is pretty good. And we have a last one. These are called tertiaries, okay? So tertiary colors, what I tend to do is I say the first, or primary colors, let's change that up. Let's put the primary color first, all right? And then I say the secondary, all right? So for example, we have red, orange, okay? Okay, then we have red, violet. Okay, we have blue, violet, or purple, okay? Blue, green, yellow, green, okay, and yellow, orange, okay. The color wheel, or the color spectrum, okay. This is all colors on the color wheel, okay. All colors that can be mixed, all right. So this doesn't necessarily mean brown, black, gray, and white. Those actually tend to be a different kind of category, okay. Intensity is how bright something is. It might be really bright or really dull. A blender is a special pencil, okay? It is, ready, what's called a colorless pencil, a color pencil. So basically what happens is, difference between this one and here is the fact that there's purple in here, okay? This is just the color pencil part, all right? It actually helps us with blending colors a lot more, all right? Instead of adding more color, you're just adding more of the wax, all right? So we're gonna put that there. Color scale. Now, you may have remembered the word value scale. This is the same thing. Shocking, right? Just the word color is changed. Okay, so it's a range of, color. Okay, different values of the colors. Gradation is smooth blending. Okay, between dark and light. Okay, so if I have, for example, trying to look for something if I have anything here. Oh, here we go. This is my tugboat. If I was just doing dark blue to light blue, that I'm going to call gradation. Okay, so we have that. That's clear. Blending, I'm doing smooth blending between two colors. Two colors. Okay, so for example, do I have any examples of that? I don't think I actually do. I don't know. Well, you'll get the idea. It's when purple fades into like red, which is really cool. Okay, shape. A shape is 2D. Form is 3D. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to go through and we're going to fill in this color wheel. It looks a little short here, but that's okay. How I want to do this is I want you to practice your regular gradation, okay, dark to light of one color. So this is purple, so I'm going to go and find my violet. All right, so I'm going to start on the outside. You might need to be a little cautious, and I want you to fade it in nicely, okay? Fill in all that space. Shouldn't take that long. All right, so far so good. How to mix the colors? So, well, same thing. Start nice and dark, fade it in. Get your second color, go over it, fade it in. All right. Now, if you find that it just looks like one color layered over the other, you can always take the original color and you can kind of go back in and just blend it in a little bit more. Okay. So pause the video. I want you to go and fill this entire thing, okay? And then when you come back, we're going to do the next section. All right, so here we are. On to the next section. Here we are. Okay, so we're going to do a couple little things on what can we do with color pencil, because obviously we can, you know, come up with different color ranges, which is perfect, but we can do more. All right, so first thing I want us to look at is, yes, we can color it in with one color. All right, so when you're filling this in, you want nice even pressure, go in the same direction, all right, for the most part. When you get to like the edges, just clean it up, but you want to remember, have even pressure. If not, you can see like all these lines going in different ways and it looks funky and weird, okay? All right. Two colors. Like I said before, you might have to go over with the original color. So I'm going to go over, put this on, okay, and I'm going to show you what the difference is between the two. So I have here, I'm going to mix this with red. Alright, so right now that kind of looks just like red over purple. But if I go back over it one more and add it, you can kind of see how it really blends it in, okay? And the more applications of this, by the way, the stronger the color. Okay? Woo, got out of hand there. All right, so far so good, right? Perfect. I'm gonna do this again. I want to show you what happens with Blender. Okay, so let's go over. By the way, this is not a huge space, so you should be able to fill it in very nicely. I'm going to go through. Okay, so the colorless blender is colorless color pencil. So when I go through, and it might not come up on the video, all right, but you'll be able to kind of see it, all right? All of a sudden, you're going to notice that it doesn't look grainy anymore, all right? It kind of looks nice and smooth and it's awesome, okay? Very neat, right? Some people like this look, some people like this look. Okay, yes, this gives a little bit more effort, but that's up to you. Okay, so we have that. Let's go and see what happens when we have two colors. All right, so I'm going to have that. And by the way, you can use any colors with this, absolutely fine. All right. So I'm going to put that one on, and then I'm going to go over in the corner with another color. All right, there we are. Let's grab this. Notice that sometimes the colors look a little brighter, a little different. All right, there we are. You tell that even like this one, just smooths in those spaces. Sometimes I go in a different direction over it to kind of really get into that space. Okay, pretty cool. All right, so what else can we do? Let's change up this color because I would like to see how that goes. You can do intensity, so this is our color scale. Light, medium, and bright. This is like that heavy hand. Nice. All right, so that is your wonderful color scale. Nice bright. Okay, so how do we make this light and dark? All right, so this is where we're going to get in our special color pencils, okay? By the way, this is a special pencil just as this one, okay? This is a brand called Prismacolor, okay? Prismacolor has softer, okay, color pencils than regular. So Crayola, the School Smart, they're harder, okay? These are a little bit softer, so what that means is when you go and sharpen them with this kind of pencil sharpener, and definitely with a regular, the mechanical one, it's gonna just eat it alive. So we kind of use theirs because it's a lot softer and a lot easier on theirs, okay? And you don't have to necessarily do it to a tip either. Okay, how do we actually lighten darken a color? Now a lot of people would be like, oh, you're just gonna color it and you're gonna add this color. Not necessarily, okay? So let's first lighten the color. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply the white two different times, okay? So first we're gonna start off with the white on the bottom, okay? Nice on the bottom. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply the color on top. We're gonna kind of make it like a sandwich, all right? To make it light, I'm gonna go on top of it. All right, so this is how I can make a nice light color. And you're like, well, what's the difference? Well, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna go over with this one. Now notice I'm kind of going light and it's already kind of bright, okay? Go over with this white. Notice how all of a sudden this is now darker. Because I had a base over here of white, not necessarily white paper, it just made it a huge difference. Okay. Now the white actually is kind of like a colors blender. It does mix very nicely. All right. So that kind of goes there. It'll look like, well, what happens when you have the opposite? Okay, well, let's start with this. Now, by the way, black can overtake a color very fast, so don't go too dark, okay? So we're just tinting it. Now, black doesn't mix as nice, so you might want to use that colors blender, or you can just leave it. I'll do half of this so you can kind of see what it looks like, okay? Not so bad. Well, let's change it up. See if it really makes a difference. Okay, so we got this down. A little bit just different, okay? Now, at any point in time you want to go back over with the original color, you can always go back over with the original color too. But you can kind of see how this is a little duller and this is a little bit darker. I'll put this on the side so you can see. Very nice. All right, how do these help with doing gradation? Okay, great question. So we're gonna move that up so you guys can see it. Oops, sorry, totally doing off to the side. Didn't realize it. All right, so we're gonna take this, I'm gonna start off nice and light here, but what happens actually I'm doing is I'm actually gonna do blend, like gradation. I'm starting really hard, and then I'm gonna fade it out, okay? Right, here. I'm gonna get a little darker. I'm going to go back over here and I want to lighten this. And fade it in, alright? So this is kind of like would be your highlighted area. Alright. Kind of fades right into your main color. Okay? Same thing here. I'm going to go from, I'm going to go dark. And I'm going to fade it out. This would be your shadowed area. Okay, so like that. All right, beautiful. As I said, you can always go back. I just love the colorless blender, as you can kind of tell. Really blends everything in nicely. pulls everything nice through. Okay? Also, as I said, brightens things. All right, so very nice. 2 colors. My suggestion is get 2 colors that are what's called neighbors, okay, next to each other on the color wheel, all right? So for example, if you have violet and red, they're neighbors. We kind of know that they're gonna work well together, but honestly, the ones that are across town or opposite, there's gonna be a little bit difference there. So grab 2 neighboring colors, okay? So my 2 neighbors, I think I'm gonna go with these 2, okay? All right, so same kind of deal. We're gonna start off dark, and this is blending before we're doing gradation. So I'm gonna fade this on out, okay? Take this one on the other side, fade this one in. Nice blending. All right, so I'd like you to do another one on this side. All right, I'll give you time. If you need to ever, by the way, pause, go ahead and pause. Okay, so how can we add texture? So we have all this beautiful smooth texture. What about some, you know, like you want some a little bit more roughness to it? Okay, cool. So let's get a different color. Let's do these colors. Why not? All right. So hatching. By the way, hatching are long lines. We can put in hatching. We can even put in a different color in there too. Pretty cool, right? Makes it kind of like really brightens it up. Cross hatching. And by the way, we can shade this by putting in the dark area too. It's really cool. Kind of looks like a shade. All right, so cross hatching. Yep, it's hatching. You got it. We're just crossing it. Let's add some extra colors into it. We'll add some shading into this. And you notice that my shading does exactly the same thing as the texture does. Beautiful. Random is really cool. Okay, random is kind of like another thing called scribble. This is great for like if you have some fuzzy texture. So if I add a different color, make it really layered up. Now I love using 2, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, because it gives it like a kind of a more of a depth to it. Add some shading here. Beautiful. And well, what happens if we wanted to do smooth and we want to put a design over it? Well, that's a great idea too. So let's do, I'm going to do orange. Nice smooth base. Okay. And here we go. So let's put a design in. Our design is going to be in red. Okay. Designs are amazing because it just makes our art just a little bit more, I don't know, more mature. Okay. So you can go over it. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let's flip to the next side. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the fun part. This is the part where you're gonna try to put this all together, all right? What I would highly suggest is if you'd like, you can get an object, okay? The wooden objects, get a light, all right? Maybe make a little dark little tunnel, get a book, you know, put some, maybe a paper over it, make a little dark space so you can see the light where everything goes. By the way, some of these things up here are kind of important. So we know that this one is called the light source. Now remember, all these things I'm writing, you should write too. Source. Okay, light source is anything that the light is going toward. All right, here we go with the values and tones. Value and tone are kind of like the same in a way words. I use the word value. You want to use tone, it really doesn't matter. Okay, but here we go. This right here is our highlight or our lightest tone. Okay, so I'm going to write highlight. Oops. Hi. That's an L. Light. Okay, or our lightest space. All right. This is where the light is hitting. Perfect. We have the medium tone or medium value. Then it gets a little bit different. Okay. Yes, on the medium, kind of has a shadow. All Okay, we got that. But the darkest area on your object, which we're calling it the core, is the core shadow. Core shadow. Okay, and the table has what's called the cast shadow. And what we're going to do is we're going to put all of these into play. All right, so here we go on the bottom. I want you to make a shape and transform it into a form. Now you have not that much space, so these things are not going to be huge. All right. So for example, let's go with this. All right. So I have my light on. Okay, I can kind of see where the light is hitting. All right. Oh, I got to move over. Sorry guys. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see it. I know you're probably like, I can't see it, Miss Smith. It's kind of hard because my setup is like, I'm down here and then the camera's way up here. Okay, so there we go. All right, so here we are. When you guys are looking at these, okay, you want to see where the light is hitting. So we can kind of see this is the highlight. Okay, we have the shadow, the midtone, and in back, now if I could turn off my lights, that'd be perfect, but it's way over there. Can't turn it off. That's okay. All right, back here would be the core shadow, very good, and on the table would be the cast shadow, very good. So how does that look? Well, we're going to start off with, this is our shape. Our shape that we're going to go with is the circle. Okay, the shape is 2D, it's flat. When we create a form, it tends to be with the drawing, the special way of drawing, plus a shadow. So we're going to pretend that these are going to be colored. All right, I know some of them are, brown. If you want to go with the brown ones, they actually might be a lot more helpful to figure out, where some of the color is. Okay, but we're going to pretend. All right, so when I see the shadow, I see it dark here. It's going to fade out to where my light is. Okay. And if you want to go in with your colorless blender, you can. Smooth and everything. But you don't have to, remember, it's only up to you. So far that's the color of the object, right? You can kind of see how it gets a little darker sometimes and a little lighter. Kind of also goes with the shadows too. All right, shadow. Time to put in our shadow. Notice I went in with my black to put my shadow in. So I'm going to go in and I'm noticing only the shadow areas. So I have cast shadow of dark. Any shadow on top of my object? Well, I looked at, checked out the color. Found a little bit of shadow. All right. Now I do have a couple of colored objects, so I'm going to see if I can pull them out for you as well. All right. Okay. So you're going to do 4 different objects, okay? Hopefully I will have enough colored objects for you, all right? This one I just happily grabbed because there's white one, sorry. All right, you're gonna notice the color, notice the shadows, draw in the shape. So for example, I have this one, okay? This one was circular, but obviously when you transform it, it's, cylinder, a little bit thicker. This is a thinner one, all right? When you're done, last thing you need to do is a little bit of color practice, okay? All right, in here, this may take you a little bit, all right, but you only have to do a couple of things in here, all right? It says color blending of 2 objects, several spots. I want at least 4 different spots, all right. Gradation of 1 color, several spots, let's go 4. Every color, yeah, you gotta do every color. That I wanna see, okay? So once you have that, you can finish the whole thing, or you can just do what's basic here. All right, and don't forget, when you put this in, a little bit of tape at the top, a little bit of tape at the bottom, okay? All right, and that's it.